What's up, guys? This is Fred2266 here, and it's time for something different on my channel. Since y'all know I'm a brony, so I figured I'd read some fan fictions. Yep, I'm gonna do that. Today I'm gonna be reading. My friend Austin suggested this to me. It's called But the Kitchen Sink, and it's by Dubs Rewatcher. Oh, Jesus. He told me to be warned, though, because it will kill many of my brain cells. But you know what? I don't have any brain cells, so I'm fine. So let's do this. But the Kitchen Sink by Dubs Rewatcher. I read in epic voices, by the way, so. Rainbow Dash rolled her eyes. Pinky, I'm telling you, as weird and crazy as you can be, it wouldn't work. Nuh-uh, it would, Pinkie Pie insisted as they entered the bakery. We could totally replace your entire house with cotton candy. We could make it float and everything. You could live in it. You could eat cotton candy anytime you wanted. And I could live there too. We could eat cotton candy all day long. You do make a good point. How much would it cost? Pinkie's face scrunched up. Let's see. Move that there, carry that there. Oh boy, only about 10 million bits. Wonder how much that is in American money. What a deal, right? Rainbow Dash shook her head and laughed. Now, where are those cupcakes you promised me? Oh, right in the kitchen, Pinkie said. I made them special, just for you. They're vanilla, your favorite. This better not be a Cupcakes 2.0. I swear to God, I'm done reading if it is. Her mouth beginning to water, the cyan mare began to gallop away from her friend. But before she could get to the kitchen, she was stopped by a loud, Wait! She turned to Pinkie, who was frowning a bit. Sorry, Dashy, but you have to be careful. Huh? Why? The Cakes just spent lots and lots of money to get the kitchen all cleaned up and remodeled. It's all new and pretty and fancy. They'll be super duper mad if we get it messy, Pinkie explained, bouncing up to her friend. Especially the sink. That costs the most of anything. It's so new and pretty and Yeah, I get the picture, Rainbow interrupted. What was wrong with the old kitchen? It looked fine to me. Pinkie's face darkened. Do you remember last week when there was that big explosion? Oh yeah, that thing completely cleared out all the clouds we were gathering for a storm. Pinkie's head drooped. I kinda got into the coffee cupboard again. Well, it's just a kitchen, Rainbow said, assuring her friend with a pat in the back. Even if we got it dirty, there's nothing that my patented rain blow dry. Rain blow can't take care of, right? Without waiting for an answer, she sprinted away from Pinkie and into the kitchen, bursting through the double doors without a care in the world. Her eyes immediately settled on the cupcakes. The confection sat in a silver tray, tempting Rainbow with their delicious scent. They were covered in the sweetest, unhealthiest looking pink frosting she had ever seen. They were perfect. Disregarding all sense of restraint, she grabbed one and proceeded to gulp it down. It tasted just as delicious as it looked. As she ate, Rainbow looked around the newly redesigned kitchen. All the walls had been painted a uniform pink color from ceiling to floor. It looked like the engravings in the wooden paneling had been redone, giving them a sharper and clearer image. A long line of shelves stood in the rightmost wall. Reaching all the way up one way, covered with ingredients, tools, and foodstuffs of all kind. What? Makes sense. The counters even sparkled. Everything's nice. Sure, but it's just a kitchen, Rainbow thought. Who cares if it gets a little dirty? There's a washcloth right there by the sink. The sink. No. He sat across the room from her, sitting right against the wall. The sunlight filtering in caught on his chrome coat, sending glimmers of light crashing through the room. Rainbow could have sworn she felt one cross her face. He was sleek and streamlined, just like the Pegasus. A drip of water hung in his mouth. With a blush, she turned only to come face to face with Pinkie Pie. Rainbow Dash! She shouted. Rainbow instinctively jumped into the air. Pinkie Pie, don't sneak up on me like that. Pinkie giggled. You're drooling. My cupcakes must be the best ever. I don't think she's drooling about the cupcakes. Taking quick glances at the sink, Rainbow wiped her mouth. She suddenly realized how messy her wings and mane were. I'm a mess, she thought, and began to preen herself. Pinky stared at her inquisitively. Dashy, what you doing? Oh, it was at that moment that Rainbow Dash realized she was trying to impress a sink. What was wrong with her? What had Pinky put in those cupcakes? Viagra? Nothing. I'm not doing anything. Just to make a point, she tousled her own hair. There was a long lull as Rainbow fidgeted under Pinky's gaze. Hey, Pinky, why is that sink so special? I'm glad you asked, Pinky said, brandishing a magazine from seemingly nowhere. I happen to have the catalog right here. How did you, Oh, look, it says it has a large and spacious basin that can fit nearly anything, even Rainbow Dash's vagina. I bet. Rainbow gasped. Really? Yep. And it has strong and durable chrome platings. God dang. Cool. Cool. A single bead of sweat formed at the base of Rainbow's brow as she attempted to immobilize her own wings. That is cool, she said. And look! It says the faucet has advanced pumping action. Isn't that the coolest? What the hell kind of pump does she mean? Ew, I don't want to know. Well, actually, I do because I'm reading. Rainbow Dash barely caught the moan in her throat. Yeah, she said flatly. Pinky, I think I understand. Please stop. She began to wish she had a bottle of mind bleach. So do I, so far. By the end of this, I might want to blow my mind out. If Pinky had noticed anything was wrong, she didn't show it. Okie dokie Loki! She picked up another cupcake and shoved it at Rainbow Dash. Let's stop the reading, 'cause it's time to go eating. Time to get eating, she squealed. It only so that Pinky wouldn't shove the treat down her throat. Rainbow took the cupcake. However, as she took her first bite, she found that her stomach and heart had teamed up to rebel against the rest of her body. Her stomach seemed to be teeming with butterflies, making it near impossible to keep the cupcake down. Her heart raced faster with each passing second, yet it skipped a beat when she glanced at him. It! Rainbow's mind screamed at her. It! With some difficulty, Rainbow finished the cupcake. She gave Pinky a smile. Oh yeah, Pinky, that was great. Pinky's eyes lit up like stars. Really? Yep. She rubbed her still erupting stomach. But I sure am full now. I doubt I could have even another blue bite. What am I can't read. What? Pinky gasped so hard she hovered. There could never be too many cupcakes. It's impossible. She seemed to disappear into the floor and popped up a second later behind Rainbow. Inconceivable! She popped up again on Rainbow's left. Incomprehensible! Pinky, stop! Rainbow said, blushing. You're embarrassing me. Pinky stopped mid-bounce. Huh? In front of who? In front of... She stopped when she realized she was pointing at the sink. No pony. Forget it. And you forgot being full. Pinky yelped, landing and grabbing the entire tray of cupcakes. She stuffed the entire tray in Rainbow's face. Eat! No, Pinky, stop. Go and eat your cupcakes, and you're going to like them. Pinky, I said. Just then, Rainbow saw a drop of water fall from the sink's faucet. As if on cue, the Pegasus's wings shot up. Wing boner! Her right wing slammed into Pinky's tray, sending it flying. No! Cupcakes! Come back! Pinky cried. Ignoring their creator, the cupcake tray proceeded to ricochet around the room, sending bits of cupcake and frosting everywhere. The two ponies could only watch in shock and dodge the careening cupcakes when necessary. It only took a few moments for the tray to smash right into the top shelf of the right wall. The ponies couldn't see it, but its impact to form a hairline crack in the molding. Rainbow silently cursed whatever vengeful spirit who had first created Pegasus wings. That would be Faustia, god of Equestria. Duh. Don't judge her. She'll kill you. She decides your fate. I'm getting off track. Pinkie Pie looked more and more scared with each splattered cupcake. A few seconds later, The crack had grown and spread throughout the entire shelf, sending it tumbling downwards. That shelf crashed into the one below it, and that one into the one below it. Soon the two mares watched in abject fear as the entire wall of shelves came crashing down, throwing up dirt, paint, and food like there was no tomorrow. Different supplies that had made their home on the shelf, flour, frostings, food coloring, dough, scattered and smashed all across the floors, creating what looked like an infant's take on fine art. Picasso would be proud. Rainbow's wings dropped. Oh, Brunner killer, apparently. Pinky's jaw literally hit the floor. That was my attempt at a poor excuse of a cry. Sorry, my parents are sleeping. Both mares' heads whipped to the staircase that led to the upper floors, where the cakes made their home. Two distinct cries echoed throughout the building, causing them to wince. What's going on down there? Pinky jogged in place. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, no, Dashy, we're in so much trouble. Rainbow Dash was too shocked to move. Forget the washcloth. Even the rainbow was nothing on this. Mrs. Cake, her eyes already bloodshot, cantered into the room. Pinky, you need to. She stopped immediately. The blue mare looked at the cluster of destruction. Then at the two mares. Back to the cluster, back to the mares. Now back to me. Now back to you. I'm on a pony. Wow. She noticed an open bag of coffee beans in the corner. Pinkie Pie, Miss Cake growled, her face contorting into a mutant mix of rage, frustration, and exhaustion. What happened to our kitchen? There were cupcakes? Yeah, and they created war in the goddamn kitchen, apparently, Pinkie replied in a squeak. A vein popped on Miss Cake's forehead. Pinkie Pie, how many times did we tell you to keep the kitchen clean? We can't afford to rebuild this bakery every other week. I know, Miss... No, I don't think you do. Miss Cake had begun to walk toward the duo. We've given you a home, food to eat. We put up with your feeding half our profits. All we asked was that you try and keep this place nice. And what do? You tear down a wall. Actually, she only made a crack in the wall, actually, but I see where you're coming from. Mrs. Cake had effectively managed to make Pinkie Pie frown. I'm sorry. And that's not to mention the babies. We had just gotten them down for a nap. Do you know how hard that is, now that they're teething? Well, show 'em your tits. Your teats, I mean. They'll shut up in a couple minutes. Bitch. Rainbow looked on in shock. She had never seen Miss Cake this angry before, or even Pinkie this worried. Of course, she had never seen Sugar Pointer's walls torn down before either. She began to curse the sink that had gotten her acting so strangely. Then she remembered it was an inanimate object. Part of her felt like leaving, stay any longer, and she was bound to get roped into it too. But her other part, her total loyalty sense, commanded her to stay and help her friend. After all, it was her fault. She was the one who had the erection. Oh, I guess it's the same thing as a wing boner. All right. Hopefully it didn't last more than 5 hours, so she didn't have to go to the doctor, though. But from what? Hey, Mrs. Cake, Rainbow interrupted. The mare paused, tired, to look at Rainbow. Yes, dear? You can't blame Pinkie for this. It was my fault. I was the one who hid the tray of cupcakes away from her and knocked down all the shelves. If you're going to blame any pony, blame me. Mrs. Cake sighed and turned to Rainbow Dash. In the blink of an eye, she started raging again. Rainbow Dash, how could you do this? Just come into our home and wreck it? Rainbow backed up a bit. Whoa, whoa! I'm all for making sure Pinkie doesn't get in trouble here, but I'm not just going to sit here and get lectured. It wasn't all my fault, though, she said, not making eye contact. Really? Mrs. Cake rolled her eyes. And whose fault was it? It was that dastardly sink, I tell you. Think, Rainbow, think. It was... As if she didn't have control of her own hooves, Rainbow pointed off to the side. It was him. He seduced me. What? I don't believe it. Him, Mrs. Cake asked, looking where Rainbow was pointing. You mean the bird? No, it was the bloody stink, I tell ya. Rainbow Dash gazed at the sink and quickly realized that a bird had landed on the windsill above it. No, I mean the... Wait, what am I talking about? Oh, never mind. I get it. It is all my fault. Sue me, bill me, whatever. Just don't blame Pinky. Mrs. K glared. Rainbow Dash, I think it would be best if you left. Rainbow sighed and glanced at Pinky. The mayor was gazing at her sadly. She shifted her eyes to the sink. I hate you, she mouthed. Without another word, she flew out of the kitchen. Dash, 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 dashy, dash, dash, dash. Continued. As she flew home, Rainbow Dash reviewed the events of her visit to Sugar Corner. She had A. Gotten into an argument about cotton candy houses. Not so creepy. B. Had some pretty good cupcakes. Perfectly normal. C. Been turned temporarily insane, it seemed, by kitchen sink. We're getting there on the creepy meter. D. Gotten a wing boner from said kitchen sink. We're getting up there a little bit more. You might want to calm down, Dashy. E. Caused hundreds of bits of property damage. That happens every day. People are klutzes. She can't help herself. F. Quite possibly gotten banned from the best bakery in town. I've seen better anyway. They probably got that food from the trash. They just tidied it up. They put Clorox in there to get the tough stains out. Yep, that's what they did. Huh. It wasn't like it was her fault or anything. It was the stupid sink. It was like it had some spell over her. Yeah. Whenever she had looked at it, her heart started beating faster. She began to sweat. It couldn't possibly be good for her health. She had only ever felt that way once before, at Junior Speedsters. And it was for Gilda. Ew. Yet, despite all the trouble it had caused her, Rainbow just couldn't get it out of her mind. Every time she tried to forget it, the sink just popped back into her mind. Oh, Celestia, what if I'm cursed? I wonder if Zakora has some tea or something. Yeah, herbal tea cures the soul from wing boners from sinks. Yeah, what a great melody. Suddenly she stopped mid-flight. Wait, she said to the air. What am I doing? I beat Nightmare Moon in Discord, yet I can't beat a freaking sink? I must suck. I proved the sonic rainboom was real, and now I'm just gonna start running from a stupid sink? No, that thing can't get me down. She flew high above the clouds, leaving a rainbow trail in her wake. I'm Rainbow Dash, destroyer of sinks. Yeah! She spread her arms wide, waiting for the inevitable crowd of cheering ponies, and there were none. After a few seconds passed, and she realized that she was the only pony around, Rainbow smiled sheepishly and resumed flying. I'm way too awesome to be worrying about this, she said as she landed in her front lawn. I'll just pay to fix up the wall, apologize to Mrs. Cake, and everything will turn out all right. The sun was setting in the west, creating a beautiful view of her vantage point, but Rainbow found herself unable to appreciate it as a large yawn escaped her lips. It was the price to pay for spending a day with Pinkie Pie. With a flap from her wings, Rainbow brought herself up to her bedroom. Tank sat in the corner of his enchanted bed. Her eyes felt like weights. She hovered over to her own bed, lay down, and got some well-deserved rest. This story is fucked up. You were right, Austin. Very, very weird. But I gotta read it all. Dash, 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 dashy, dash, dash. It was dark. That was the first thing she noticed. It took a few moments for her eyes to adjust, but once they did, she realized what the wet feeling around her legs was. Oh, she had a wet dream about a sink. That's freaking pretty normal, actually. I've had wet dreams about a cuckoo clock. Yeah, the one I hear in the background right now. Anyway, the ground was flooded with deep blue water. She was in some sort of maze. She began to walk forward, ignoring the pain of the cold water against her skin. She had no idea where to go. Every turn seemed to lead to another turn, or a dead end. At points, she could have sworn she heard some pony, or something moving with her. After a few minutes of useless waiting, she began to panic. Where was she? Why was this happening? Barely containing the urge to scream, she rounded another corner. That was when she saw him. Sitting in the middle of the water was Sink, as he is now known as. Evil Sink. Sink the Barbarian. Yeah, that's what he's called. He glanced at her lovingly. She knew that he was the key. He would make everything go away. All the pain. He would make everything perfect. She cantered towards him, her heart beating faster with every step. He radiated sunlight, his warmth replacing the water's chill. She grabbed his wide basin and pulled him closer. Oh, Sink. His drain curled into a smile. Oh, Rainbow Dash.